All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I would like to give all praises and infinite glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule and teach well. And peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world, that's pushing out this truth with all sincerity and putting their lives on the line to do so. This is the brother Karasazai out of GMS Atlanta, here with a lesson, just going into the riots that the scriptures speak about and the uproars of the people, because here it is, we have the election coming up, in the year 2020. You have President Donald Trump and Joe Biden representing the Democratic Party, and people, especially, the so-called white race, are in an uproar about it, man. You know, there's the Lord has basically put it on their spirit, to be against each other, man. And, with Jake in the mix, because Jake has that blind eye, so they really don't know, who they're for. But nevertheless, these people out, in America are in a frenzy, and are on the edge of their seats, just concerning who's going to be in the office for the next 4 years, man. And Lord willing, really, we're even not here, that long, But as you can see, I have a article, pulled up, and I'm not going to read the entire article. If you want to read it, you can see the title here on Bloomberg.com. And the title of the article is Cities Gird for Election Day Unrest. It says Chicago, Philadelphia, and New York are among those that have announced plans aimed at protecting voters. You see, these people are trying to, they think that these people, that's out here, in the frenzy about the election, that they have something planned. They have something up their sleeves, and today is I believe it's the October 31st, which the last day that you can vote, I believe, is November 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what happens when voting or voting the voting ends. So it says as you can see, you have the picture. It looks like a Edomite. I'm not sure because I don't see the face. But he has the camouflage, pants on, with the rifle in his hand. It's just representing the way or the way that America is going, man. So it says fears of voter intimidation and civil unrest have promoted authorities in large urban centers to announce unprecedented steps meant to avoid clashes on election day and beyond. You see, it says and beyond, man. So who knows how long, this is going to continue, depending on who gets elected in the office, man. And it was a short clip, that was, put up by Edomite, basically saying whoever, gets elected into the office, it's going to be riots either way, man. So Lord willing, this actually sparks off, man, because the men of the Lord, have been waiting on this, man, because the scriptures clearly speak about it, which I'm going to get, after I read a little bit more of this article. But it says Chicago, Philadelphia, and New York, which are three huge major cities, man. It says are among cities that have revealed plans to prevent violence on November 3rd. So I believe the election day is November 3rd. So like y'all said, November 5th. But it says when election observers worry polling sites could be targeted, or in the weeks that follow, and historic levels of mail-in ballots preclude the declaration of an immediate winner. You see, so these people believe that these ballots, hey, it could be a hit put out at some of them, man. And hey, who knows? The Lord may send judgment, to Jake, or to these heathen nations, mainly, as I say this, Jake for trusting in the system, man. Here you is casting in your vote, for a heathen who's oppressing you, instead of putting your vote for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. You know, that's how off and blind that our people are, man. That they actually in the year 2020 still think that the so-called white man can help them out, man. You know, but continuing reading, it says what less what's less known is how smaller communities are preparing, even those that have seen some of the most intense violence by armed vigilantes during racial justice demonstrations. So even the smaller communities, may have something planned up their sleeves, man. It could be an all-out war, a civil war in the streets concerning, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, man. Especially against these armed vigilantes, these Black Lives Matter, these people in Black Lives Matter, and these militia groups, Antifa, you know, because that's all they were waiting on, man. Was for something minor, such as who's becoming the next president to happen, for them to bring their guns out in their army pants, man. You see? So it says, I'm gonna read this last paragraph and I'm gonna get the scriptures. And if like I said, if you want to continue reading, the article, you're more than welcome. But it says, it says either because authorities have made no special preparations or don't want to show their hand. Unfounded assertions of fraud by President Donald Trump and his supporters has raised the specter of such unrest even before 14 men were recently charged with plotting to kidnap Michigan's Democratic governor Gretchen Whitmer and overthrow the state's government. You see, so hey, these people, Americans are on the edge of their seats, man. It's getting more, as time goes by, it's getting more and more, chaotic, in the streets of America, man. Since the killing of George Floyd, with the protests in Minnesota, the buildings burning down, people getting shot and killed, to the election riots, man. You had people getting murdered and shot down at what was supposed to be peaceful protest, man. So Lord willing, this continues to increase, because this is another sign that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is on the return, man. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get a couple of scriptures, and I'm gonna close out, and I'm gonna start at second Ezra chapter 15, and I'll start at verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Now we all know that word "woe" goes into destruction. So destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. You see, so the sword, and the destruction of these people is close, man. And we it mentioned in the article, hey, we're coming to a time where it's gonna be all chaos in the streets, man. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand, and the sword, basically represents, a modern day gun or a modern day, a piece of equipment, so to speak, that the so-called white man has in his military. You see, so it says such as the drones, these tanks, these military tanks, the jets, the fighter jets, all these things can be used as a sword, and it's coming nigh unto this place, man. It's close, brothers see, the military tanks on the highways, these military bases with military equipment just loaded up because Esau's not even hiding no more, man. They're about to let push that button, hit that target, and just let these people loose, man. So continuing on reading, it says, verse 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men," and when you go into that word sedition, a synonym for it basically means rioting. So there should be rioting among men, which this is a prophecy that's actually taking place right now, man. And it says, "And invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So you see, so these people are basically going to lose trust, in the government, and try to take matters into their own hand. And that's when, and really that's what, Esau want, to have a reason why they're, murdering and killing people in cold blooded in the streets, man. To push that new world order in the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, man. So it says, verse 17, "A man shall desire to go in the city and shall not be able," because these is going to be roadblocks set up. We always go into how Esau designed their highways, and their streets for to trap you in the inside. Because the major highway, the city is always in the middle of the major highways, man. To where you can't you can't leave out of it without touching a certain street or area. Or running into a certain street or area, and Esau has, that blueprint of it. You know, so it says, "A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." You see, this is all coming, to America, man. You know, you won't even be able to be comfortable, like you are, confined in your own home, man. You know, here you are, the holiday is coming up. You're getting ready to, wiggle your toes, and burn, s'mores in the backyard. Little do you know, man, yeah, it's about to be all out hell break loose in this place, man. You know, the scripture say, "A man shall desire to go in the city and shall not be able," man. You know, it's gonna be like a movie out here, man. You know, and it says, verse 19, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." You see? So, like I said, man, these houses are going to be broken into by your neighbors, because they're in want and need to feed their family, their kids, their dog, whatever the case may be, man. And look and don't try to run away, or dismiss the fact that these things are going to happen. So this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9, and verse Salaki. Where is it? Salaki. I know it's in the book of Second Ezra. It's right here. I'll start at the top, really. So this Second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." You see, so when we see these signs such as the uproars of the people, the government losing its power, his grip on the people, we understand, that it's prophecy and it's a sign of the second coming of Yahushua. You see? And that's what we push. That's our One of our main, missions is to push that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is coming to visit the world, man. Because of all the atrocities and the wickedness that's being committed here, man. You know? So it says, verse 3, which is the point I wanted to get. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, which we see, I believe it was an earthquake yesterday. I forget where it was at, but it was, I believe it was like 7.2, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. You see? So when you see these earthquakes are happening more and more frequently, man. So it says, when you see therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, you see, so the uproars of the people is basically the rioting as well, man. You know, and it's going to, like I said before, it's going to continue to increase and increase to where you won't even be able to be comfortable or just sit in your own home. You'll have to be on the go. Because you got your looters. You see that now in Philadelphia. The citizens of Philadelphia are looting the Walmarts, and the stores out there because of the death. That the cop shot the guy yielding the knife. So this is these incidents are gonna keep increasing to where you're not even gonna be able to keep up with them anymore, man. It's just gonna happen. It's not gonna make the news. Because it's gonna be all chaos in the streets, man. These Edomites are loaded with bullets, rifles, machine guns, artillery, bunkers, getting ready for a time like this, man. So a lot of Jakes are going to get knocked off just for the simple fact that Esau is preparing for these things, because Esau, you gotta give credit to where it's due. Esau keeps up with what's going on in the world. Jake is just out here lost, man. Worrying about what they go dress up for fucking Halloween, man. So I'm gonna get one more scripture, and I'm gonna close out. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, and I'll start at verse 3. It says, For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land, they shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried. But they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. You see, so it's going to be so chaotic that you won't even have time to plan a funeral, or plan a burial, man. It's just going to be dead bodies just laid out in the streets. You ain't gonna be you just gonna be walking over dead bodies, puddles of blood. Somebody's head may be over on the sidewalk and the body in the street. This is where we headed towards, man. And we have to, especially knowing this, the men of the Lord have to prepare their minds to see certain things like this, because we've never seen nothing like this before, man. Just dead, hundreds and thousands and millions of dead bodies just in the streets. We have to prepare for that, man. So it says, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. You see? So the bodies are gonna basically be food, for the scavengers, man. The animal scavengers, the vultures. And this is, like I said, we have to prepare our mind for these things, man. So that's why we pray to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai and become closer to the Lord, because the Lord said he's gonna, roughly paraphrasing, that he's gonna look out for his servants, man. So prepare your mind, for these troubling times to come. Especially here with this election coming up. Prepare your mind for anything to happen, man. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna go ahead and close out by giving all praises and infinite glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule and teach well, and peace and safety to sincere Akim while Akwath who's listening in truth and sincerity. Until the next time, I say Shalom.